Episode 3, Choices Ripple, Worlds Begin to Shift. Paradise. This is a nightmare, I said, staring at the twisted version of myself. Her skin had a sickly green tint, and her eyes glowed with an unnatural light. It was like looking into a distorted mirror. Oh, but it is paradise, my dear Keira, she purred, taking a step closer. A paradise of my own making. A place where I am free to do as I please. What did you do to this world? I demanded, my hand instinctively reaching for the energy I had barely learned to control. I simply embraced my potential, she said, a cruel smile playing on her lips. I reshaped this reality to my liking. Removed the obstacles. Eliminated the dissent. You're insane, she laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the jungle. Perhaps. But I am powerful. And soon you will be too. I'll never be like you, I spat. Oh, but you will. You have the same spark, the same potential. You simply need to embrace it. I'd rather die. Death is such a limiting concept, she said dismissively. I have transcended such petty concerns. I have become something more. Suddenly, Vane appeared beside me, her sword drawn. Get behind me, Keira, she said, her voice grim. This one's bad news. Vane. You're alive, I exclaimed, relief washing over me. Barely, she grunted. Fracture storms are not my idea of a good time. This is you, she asked, nodding towards the twisted Keira. Unfortunately, I replied. So predictable, twisted Keira sighed. Always the protector. Always the hero. But you are too late. Keira is mine. She raised her hand, and the trees around us began to writhe. Their branches twisted and turned, forming grotesque shapes that seemed to reach for us. Let's dance, she said, her eyes gleaming with malice. The trees attacked. Their branches lashed out like whips, forcing Vane and me to dodge and weave. I tried to focus my energy, but the chaotic atmosphere of this world made it difficult. The air crackled with a strange energy that disrupted my concentration. We need to get out of here, I yelled, narrowly avoiding a swipe from a thorny branch. Easier said than done, Vane replied, deflecting another attack with her sword. She's controlling this whole place. Then we need to stop her, I said, my determination hardening. I focused my mind, ignoring the chaotic energy around me. I reached for my spark, channeling my anger, my fear, my determination. The energy began to flow, building within me, stronger than before. I unleashed it, a wave of raw power that washed over the clearing. The trees recoiled, their movements faltering. What's this? Twisted Keira hissed, shielding her eyes. That's me fighting back, I said, my voice filled with newfound confidence. I channeled more energy, focusing it on Twisted Keira. I wanted to disrupt her control, to break her connection to this twisted world. She screamed, clutching her head. Stop it. You can't do this. I can, I said. And I will. The clearing began to shake. The ground cracked, and the trees swayed violently. The world around us was unraveling, collapsing under the strain of my power. Enough, Twisted Keira roared. She unleashed her own energy, a dark, corrupting force that clashed with mine. The two energies collided, creating a vortex of chaos that threatened to consume us all. I struggled to maintain control, but her power was immense. You can't defeat me, she said, her voice filled with triumph. I am the master of this world. Maybe, I said, gritting my teeth. But I'm not alone. I reached out to Vane, sharing my energy with her. She gasped, her eyes widening as she felt the surge of power. What are you doing? She asked. Helping you, I said. We're in this together. Vane nodded, her face set with determination. She channeled the energy, focusing it through her sword. The blade began to glow with a brilliant light. Let's finish this, she said, charging towards Twisted Keira. Twisted Keira unleashed another blast of energy, but Vane deflected it with her glowing sword. She moved with incredible speed, dodging and weaving through the chaotic energy. She reached Twisted Keira and struck, her sword piercing her heart. Twisted Keira screamed, her body convulsing. The energy around her began to dissipate, and the trees stopped writhing. No, she whispered, her eyes filled with disbelief. It can't end like this. Her body dissolved into dust, scattering in the wind. The clearing fell silent, the only sound the rustling of the leaves. The jungle around us began to revert to its natural state. The twisted trees straightened, and the eerie green light faded away. "Is it over?" I asked, my voice trembling. "For now," Vane said, sheathing her sword. "But I doubt we've seen the last of her kind." "What do you mean?" "There are other Keiras out there, in other realities," Vane said. "Some of them may be just as twisted as that one." "Great," I muttered. "Just what I needed to hear." "Don't worry," Vane said, clapping me on the shoulder. "We'll face them together. And we'll win." I nodded, feeling a surge of determination. "So what now? Do we keep looking for Alara?" "Yes," Vane said. "But first, we need to find a way out of this jungle. And I have a feeling it's not going to be easy." We started walking, navigating through the dense undergrowth. The jungle was still dangerous, filled with strange creatures and hidden perils. As we walked, I noticed something strange in the distance. A shimmering portal, hovering in the air. "What's that?" I asked, pointing towards it. Vane squinted. "It looks like a tear in reality. A fracture, but different." "Different how?" "It's unstable," Vane said. "Like it's about to collapse." As we watched, the portal began to grow, expanding rapidly. It pulsed with a chaotic energy, threatening to engulf everything in its path. "We need to get away from here," Vane yelled. Now, we turned and ran, but it was too late. The portal exploded, sending a wave of energy that washed over us. Everything went white. When I opened my eyes, I was no longer in the jungle. I was standing in a different place, a different world. This time, I was in a bustling city, skyscrapers towering overhead, cars honking in the streets. But this city was different from the one I had seen before. It was clean, modern, and vibrant. The air was fresh, and the people were happy. "Where are we?" I asked, looking around in amazement. "I don't know," Vane said, equally bewildered. "But it doesn't look like any reality I've ever seen." As we walked through the streets, we noticed something strange. Everyone was staring at us. They were whispering, pointing, and taking pictures. "What's going on?" I asked, feeling increasingly uncomfortable. Then I saw it. A giant screen, displaying a news report. The headline read, "Keira Vane and Keira, last name unknown, arrive in our city." Below the headline was a picture of Vane and me. "What the?" I stammered. The news report went on to say that we were expected guests, that we were here to save the city from a great threat. "Save the city," Vane said, raising an eyebrow. "From what?" Just then, a limousine pulled up beside us. A man in a sharp suit stepped out, a friendly smile on his face. "Welcome, Keira Vane and Keira," he said. "We've been expecting you. Please come with me. The mayor is eager to meet you." We hesitated, unsure of what to do. But the man's smile seemed genuine, and the city seemed safe. "All right," I said. "Let's see what this is all about." We got into the limousine, and it sped away, weaving through the crowded streets. As we drove, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. That this perfect city was hiding a dark secret. The limousine pulled up in front of a towering skyscraper, the tallest building I had ever seen. The man in the suit led us inside, through a grand lobby filled with marble and gold. We entered an elevator, and it whisked us up to the top floor. The doors opened, revealing a lavish office with panoramic views of the city. Sitting behind a large desk was a woman, impeccably dressed, her hair perfectly styled. She smiled warmly as we approached. "Welcome, Keira Vane and Keira," she said. "I am Mayor Thompson. It is an honor to finally meet you." "Thank you," I said, feeling a sense of unease. "Please sit down," Mayor Thompson said, gesturing to 2 chairs in front of her desk. We sat down, and Mayor Thompson began to speak. She told us about the city, about its history, its achievements, and its challenges. "We have built a utopia here," she said. "A perfect society, free from crime, poverty, and disease." "That's amazing," I said, trying to sound impressed. "But we face a threat," Mayor Thompson continued, her voice growing serious. "A threat that could destroy everything we have built." "What kind of threat?" Vane asked, her hand instinctively resting on the hilt of her sword. A disruption," Mayor Thompson said. "A force that is destabilizing our reality. It is causing anomalies." "Anomalies?" I asked. Yes, Mayor Thompson said. Strange occurrences, unexplained phenomena. Things that defy the laws of physics. Like what? Like objects disappearing and reappearing, Mayor Thompson said. Like people experiencing memory lapses. Like the sky changing color. That does sound concerning, Vane said. We believe that you are the key to stopping this disruption, Mayor Thompson said. We have heard of your abilities, your power to traverse realities. Who told you that? I asked, feeling a surge of suspicion. Mayor Thompson smiled. We have our sources. The point is, we need your help. We need you to find the source of this disruption and stop it before it destroys our city. And what do you want from us in return? Vane asked, her eyes narrowed. Nothing, Mayor Thompson said. We simply want to save our city. We are willing to provide you with whatever resources you need. Transportation, accommodation, information, anything. It sounded too good to be true. A perfect city, a grateful mayor, unlimited resources. It was all too convenient. We'll think about it, I said. We need some time to process everything. Of course, Mayor Thompson said. Take all the time you need. But please don't wait too long. The disruption is growing stronger every day. We stood up to leave, and Mayor Thompson shook our hands. Her grip was surprisingly strong. We are counting on you, Keira, Vane, and Keira, she said, her eyes fixed on mine. The fate of our city rests in your hands. We left the office and returned to the limousine. As we drove back to our hotel, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being manipulated. I don't trust her, I said to Vane. Me neither, she replied. Something's not right about this place. What do you think we should do? We investigate, Vane said. We find out what's really going on in the city. And we find out who's behind this disruption. We arrived at our hotel, a luxurious suite with all the amenities. It was clear that Mayor Thompson was sparing no expense. This is too much, I said, looking around in disbelief. It's a trap, Vane said. But we can use it to our advantage. We spent the rest of the day exploring the city, trying to get a sense of its true nature. We visited the parks, the museums, and the shopping districts. Everything seemed perfect, almost too perfect. But as we looked closer, we started to notice cracks in the facade. We saw people with vacant stares, repeating the same phrases over and over again. We saw security cameras on every corner, watching our every move. And we heard whispers of dissent, of rebellion, of a hidden underground resistance. That night, as we were sleeping in our luxurious hotel room, I had a dream. I was standing in a dark, empty void. Then a voice echoed through the darkness. Keira, it said. You must save us. I turned around, but there was no one there. Who's there? I asked, my voice trembling. We are the forgotten, the voice said. The ones who have been erased from this reality. Erased. What do you mean? This city is not what it seems, the voice said. It is a prison. A place where individuality is suppressed, where free thought is forbidden. Who's behind it? I asked. Mayor Thompson, the voice said. She is the architect of this reality. She controls everything, but how? She uses a device, the voice said. A machine that can manipulate reality, that can erase memories, that can control minds. Where is it? I asked. It is hidden, the voice said. But you must find it. You must destroy it. Or this city will be lost forever. The voice faded away, and I woke up with a gasp. I was covered in sweat, my heart pounding. What's wrong? Vane asked, sitting up in bed. I had a dream, I said. A dream about this city. About Mayor Thompson. About a machine that controls reality. Vane's eyes widened. Tell me everything. I told her about the dream, about the forgotten, about the machine. As I spoke, her face grew increasingly grim. I knew it, she said. This place is too perfect. It's a lie. What do we do? I asked. We find that machine, Vane said. And we destroy it, but how? We don't even know where to start. We start with the resistance, Vane said. They're the ones who know the truth. They're the ones who can help us. How do we find them? I have a feeling they'll find us, Vane said, a grim smile playing on her lips. As if on cue, there was a knock on the door. Vane grabbed her sword and stood beside the door. I took a deep breath and opened the door. Standing there were two figures, cloaked in shadows, their faces obscured by hoods. "Are you Keira Vane and Keira?" one of them asked, their voice a low whisper. "Who's asking?" Vane replied, her hand still on her sword. "We are the Resistance," the figure said. "We know about the machine. And we know that you can help us destroy it. To be continued."